Hello. So this is my post-amble, my appendix for the Great Lessons videos, which are all done now. They're all very different lessons, as you can see. A couple of them were tailor-made lessons that really I haven't ever used since. I've never had to use since. Some of them, they accomplished specific goals and never were repeated. A couple of them were totally routine lessons that the person, or procedures that I have, that the person reacted better to. I almost have to think the Jordan lesson might be my best lesson ever. I know it probably comes across as being very negative and harsh. You know, I destroyed this person's self-esteem during that lesson. I burst their bubble of what they thought about themselves and their coaching. I lowered their confidence. I lowered their self-esteem. I lowered their personal opinion. But you know, there are times when you have to embrace reality in order to get somewhere. You know, it's great to have dreams. It's great to say, one day I want to do this. But it's not okay to think, I've accomplished my dream, when you're way down here and haven't accomplished it. You know, you have to actually, you know, it's the equivalent of saying, I want to be a millionaire, and then when you get your first paycheck for $500, you're like, I've made it! No, you haven't. You're, you know, one paycheck on the way to being a millionaire after many, many, many years of work. It's essentially the same thing in skating. You can't... I find it really dangerous, the concept that you can consider a test that you pass or a competition you've won as the end goal. It's not... There's no end goal. I mean, I guess you could say Olympic gold medalist is an end goal, but that doesn't really happen for most people. It's a process, it's a procedure, it's a journey, it's an adventure. And every test passed, every competition you go to, every day in practice should be a cog in the wheel, in the machine of that adventure. And that doesn't mean that occasionally you can't have a cog in there that you don't like, that stinks a little bit, that's a little bit irritating, but still provides a necessary service, a necessary process for that adventure to continue and prosper and do well. Yeah, that was really rambly. Very, very rambly. What was my point of this? My point is, all four of these lessons are generally lessons that I don't think anybody would look at and say, oh, that's amazing, he's an amazing coach. They would really have to see the context leading up to it and the context leading out of it. And even then, there's some people who would say that my methodology was a little bit suspect or harsh. And I actually I wouldn't say suspect, but I would definitely agree with harsh. There are times when you have to give tough love to skaters, where you have to, if you have a problem, you can't just get through it with, what is it, honey and candy and kisses and hugs and crap like that. You have to actually hammer it. Hammer the problem, hammer it out, smooth it out through blood, sweat, and tears, essentially. And I know there's a lot of families when you have little girls doing figure skating where you don't really want to think of it in that sense, but this is a sport. It's an athletic endeavor. And any sport requires a pushing of boundaries, a pushing of not just physical or technical boundaries, but emotional boundaries and personality boundaries and mental boundaries. And sometimes you need to learn harsh lessons. I think the error is with coaching, and why this went out of style, is you can have coaches who try to teach the harsh lessons indiscriminately or unwisely to the wrong kids at the wrong times in the wrong situations. You do have to pick and choose these. Obviously, I'm not going to pound a heavy lesson into a kid day after day, week after week, month after month. There is a way to push progress and a way not to push progress, and you need to find that balance. There is a balance involved. And if the balance is ruined, you can do pretty serious damage to a kid and have them dislike and lose interest in sport in general, in skating, in themselves. Probably worst of all. And obviously, as a coach, we're not interested in having any of those things happen. You know, there's a fine line between pushing your way through difficult problems, difficult concepts, pounding away at things, and knowing when to ease off so no lasting damage is done. And people are human, so they tend to make mistakes. Like I said in several previous emails, the general mistake in the coaching community nowadays is to never try to push anything. Don't try to hammer out problems. Let people live with their problems, or try to encourage and love them out of it. You know, that's great, but if it's going to take me 2 or 3 years to gently get through a problem, and a month to get through it with a little bit of tough love, a little bit of harshness, a little bit of alacrity, acidity, I'll take the shorter way anytime. I'm not going to spend 3 years on a problem I can fix in 1 month. It's ridiculous. Even if it means that 1 time out of 10 I'm going to be fired due to the fact that I've been a little too harsh, or I've been interpreted as being a little too harsh. And again, the kids very rarely have a problem with this. None of these lessons the kids had a problem with. Parents have problems occasionally, because you're not seeing the context, you're not seeing the process, you're not seeing the step-by-step evolution of the methodology. So you really don't have any real connection to it, any real understanding of it. It seems to be a common theme of a lot of these videos. Anyway, I don't want to ramble too much. Yeah, I do. I love rambling, but we'll cut this off. Bye.